Hey friends, and welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Teacher Kayla, and I'm so glad that you've joined us here today. I'm so glad to see everyone. Today we have a jam-packed lesson, and I'm so excited to get started. So let's not waste any time. Grab those virtual passports, and let's get into it. Okay, we are going to start off with a little bit of pronunciation. These words may look and sound a little similar, but they are all used differently. So, what I want you to do is I want you to listen and repeat. Okay? Listen and repeat. Number 1, warm. 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 The heat from the fireplace made the cabin cozy and warm. Warm. Number 2, warn. 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 I warned her that she should take a jacket with her on her trip. Warn. Number 3, worm. 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 The kids were digging in the dirt to find more worms. Worm. Number 4, warn. 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 And no, you aren't hearing things. This does sound the same as number 2. W-A-R-N and W-O-R-N sound the same. Warn. Warn. But this one is used a little differently. For example, the old man's clothes were tattered and worn. Tattered means torn or ragged. And when we say worn, you could say that clothes that are not new are also worn. So clothes that are used are worn. So I want you to take a look at this picture. Think about what you see in the picture. You can see a woman in a field. I want you to think about a short story that you could use to describe this woman. Think about words that you could use, sentences that you can make. And I will share with you a short story about this picture. This is Michaela. Michaela is 19 years old. She has big brown eyes and curly dark brown hair. She is stunning. People that know her say she is genuine and optimistic. What are some other things that you notice about Michaela? Is she tall? Is she short? Is she thin? Is she chubby? What can you say about Michaela? Picture 2. What do you see in this picture? There are 2 people in this picture. Think about the words you can use to describe this picture. And again, I will tell you a short story. Anna and her grandmother bake together every Sunday. They enjoy making cookies to take to church to share with the congregation. Anna always gets her grandmother riled up because she isn't very patient and always sneaks a cookie before they wrap them up. What can you say about this picture? Is her grandmother happy? What about Anna? Is Anna happy? What do you think they're talking about now? Photo number 3. Take a look at this picture. What do you see? Think about some words you could use to describe this picture. I'll tell you a short story about it. Naomi is shopping with her fiancé, Travis. Travis and Naomi got engaged last week, and they are so excited to get married. What else can you say about this picture? What else do you see? Look at the color of Travis's shirt. What are they both wearing? What is she carrying? Okay, so the first word that we're going to look at from the pictures is the word stunning. Stunning refers to someone or something that is very impressive or beautiful. So, like Michaela in the first picture was incredibly stunning or beautiful. Number 2, which also came from the first picture, is the word genuine. Genuine is used to describe something that is real or honest, sincere, genuine. Number 3, optimistic. Optimistic, it is used to describe a positive or hopeful attitude or outlook about the future. Number 4 in our vocabulary list, which comes from picture number 2, is congregation. Congregation typically refers to a group of people who gather in a religious setting. Number 5, which is also from picture 2, which could be referring to the grandmother there, being riled up. Riled up is an idiom that is used to describe someone who is agitated or angry or upset. So maybe the grandmother was agitated that her granddaughter Anna kept stealing all the cookies. All right, number 6, which is in our last photo of the couple, this is fiancé. Fiancé can be used to describe a male, and the same pronunciation with a slightly different spelling, fiancé, can be used to describe the female. This is used to describe a person who is engaged to be married. All right, and our last word in our vocabulary from the pictures is engaged. Engaged. This is how we refer to someone who is betrothed or committed to being engaged or to being married to someone. So I'm going to give you the sentence up on the screen. I want you to tell me which word best completes the sentence. Okay, let's get started. Number 1, going shopping in New York was a great experience or experiment. Going shopping in New York was a great experience. Did you get it? Keep track of which you get right and which you get wrong. Okay? All right, let's go on to the second one. After the party, Sherry was and needed a ride home. Drunken or drunk? I recently had a student that said this wrong, and it made me think about it. What do you think? After the party, Sherry was drunk and needed a ride home. Number 3, she couldn't help but doze off during the presentation. She was so bored or boring? She couldn't help but doze off during the presentation. She was so bored. The presenter was boring, so she was bored. Number 4, she couldn't me over the sound of the loud construction nearby. Listen or hear? She couldn't hear me over the sound of the loud construction nearby. Number 5. This one's a tricky one. I hear this wrong so often. So I just want to ask, it's more of like a question that I've put into a sentence. 2 weeks from this week is called the week after next or 2 weeks later. So 2 weeks after this week is called the week after next. A bonus tip that I'll give you here is that if today is Wednesday and we are talking about Friday, then we are saying the day after tomorrow. So if something is happening on Friday, we could say the day after tomorrow I will go to the supermarket. Or the day after tomorrow, I will get paid. All right, we're going to play a little game, and it's called Find the Mistake. I wanted to make it a little more fun, but I will think of maybe a better name for that. If you have some ideas, leave a comment. All right, so number 1. He often complete an English lesson every day. What's wrong with this sentence? All right. There is something wrong with this sentence. It should read, he often completes an English lesson every day, which hopefully you all do that, right? All right, number 2. Do you listen me? Is this right or is this wrong? And what's wrong with it if it's wrong? Yes, this is wrong. It should say, do you hear me? Number 3. I am practice English now. Where's the mistake? It should say, I am practicing English now. Number 4. One of the things I like most about this city is how unique it is. It should say, one of the things I like most about this city is how unique it is. Number 5. I recommend you to try the fish. It is so good. It should say, I recommend that you try the fish. It is so good. All right, how many did you get right? Did you get them all? Let me know. Okay, so this brings me to the last section of today's lesson. So instead of saying the first word, I want you to improve it and I want you to say the new word, okay? So for number 1, instead of saying make better, try the word embellish. Embellish. So for example, instead of saying, you can add fresh flowers to make the wreath look better, you can say, you can add fresh flowers to embellish the wreath. It sounds better, right? Embellish. All right, number 2. Instead of saying interested, say enthusiastic. So instead of saying she is interested in the job, you can say she is enthusiastic about the job. All right, number 3. Instead of saying skill, you can say knack. Instead of saying he is skilled in helping others, you can say he has a knack for helping others. All right, number 4. Instead of saying a lot of, you can say tremendous. Tremendous. So instead of saying they spent a lot of time studying, you can say they spent a tremendous amount of time studying. Number 5, instead of saying no longer used, you can say obsolete. So instead of saying DVDs are no longer used because streaming a movie is much easier, you can say DVDs are becoming obsolete because streaming a movie is much easier. Alright, that brings me to the end of this session. I hope you enjoyed this lesson as much as I enjoyed giving this lesson. I'm so glad to have you all here today. Again, I just want to remind you that if you're enjoying this type of content, to please like and subscribe this video so you can be first in line for more videos like this. Also, if you have any comments at all, I would love to hear from you. Leave a comment. It helps me to keep going and making these videos. I love hearing from you guys. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.